Hi everyone, my name is Cameron Korish. I'm the founder of Core Health Coaching. We're a unique holistic personal training studio based at Wishart in Brisbane. We help our clients transform their lives through significant changes in their health and fitness. So thank you for joining me today. And today I've actually invited Dr. Kim Brown to join us. So hello Kim.
Hey Cameron.
There obviously is a bit of a time lag there, so thank you for coming along. Look, I invited Kim to come along today because I had the opportunity to sit down and have a chat to Kim probably about 6 months ago, and I was really fascinated about what she did, and I was probably a little bit naive in regards to what she did as well. So Kim is a trained osteopath, has been in the health and fitness industry for over 10 years, but I really wanted to really touch base today just to sort of find out a little bit more about what you do and to help some of my clients know what you do, and some of the people that listen to my blog about what an osteopath is. So Kim, can I start with there and sort of say, what is an osteopath? What do you actually do, mate?
An osteopath is a hands-on manual therapist that takes a very holistic view of the body. So we work with, most people automatically assume, oh, osteo, that means bones. Well, yes, we know about the bones.
Yeah.
Most people know about
is
the
that
bones.
Why the guys in the background
but
over
we
there?
take a that's why I've got Jerry in the background there.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So an osteopath will work with all areas of the body: bones, muscles, joints, ligaments, tendons, the whole lot. And we study the body as a whole rather than just parts. So often people are more symptomatic relievers. So if you went to a massage therapist, for instance, you might get a rub, which will relieve a symptom. But what an osteopath will do is try and look for the cause of the problem and not just the symptom. Because we can rub it all we like, but if you don't actually get to the root cause of the problem, then you're never actually going to fix the issue.
Okay.
So we look bigger, we look more holistic.
So how does that fit in with like a physio, for instance?
So a physio is excellent at prescribing exercises for rehabilitation, or when you've had an operation and they'll get you walking again, that sort of thing. Physiotherapists, in my opinion, are fairly segmental. They will look at, if you go in with a sore shoulder, for instance, they'll look at your shoulder. If you go to an osteopath for a sore shoulder, they'll look at your spine, they'll look at your pelvis, they'll look at your neck, they'll look at the way you move, they'll look at the way the tissues function. It's bigger than that. It's not just, let's just rub your shoulder. It's a bigger view, because even though the shoulder might be the symptomatic part, it's not necessarily the cause of the problem. So physio looks a little bit more at symptoms, osteo looks a little bit more at cause and effect. Okay.
So what sort of things would you treat mostly? So what's the big couple of exercises you would do? Yep.
So the biggest or the most common complaint that an osteopath will see is back or neck pain, in particular low back pain. That's probably our bread and butter.
Okay.
And I guess that's firstly because we've come from or becoming a more sedentary community. People sit down a lot more. They're doing more sedentary jobs than they used to do. We no longer work on the farms every day. So there's a lot of reasons that we would have more back pain. There's a lot of reasons why we'd have more back pain in our lifestyle, in our community. So back pain becomes pretty much our biggest condition that we treat.
Okay, so what sort of things would you do for back pain then, as an example?
Really depends on the cause of the back pain. So the way you'd treat a disc injury is quite different to how you'd treat a sprain, which is different to how you'd treat overuse. But it all comes back to the same sort of thing. We need to get more movement, so mobility into the area. We need to calm down the tissues. So often the muscles have gone into spasm, so we need to calm them down and bring them back into a position of ease. And we need to keep the person moving, keep the patient moving as best as they can within their pain. So mobility and strength, a lot of, like if we go back to physios, for instance, physios are very quick to try and offer strengthening techniques or strengthening exercises. But the aim of the game is to actually get rid of the dysfunction first. There's no point strengthening a muscle that's dysfunctional, or there's no point strengthening a joint that's dysfunctional. You need to get rid of the dysfunction before you attack strength, because most of us are not weak. So, let's take shoulder, for instance. If you hurt your shoulder, you don't need to then go strengthen it straight away. You need to remove the dysfunction. Same sort of thing in a back injury. If you have a back injury, it's rarely because of weakness of the back muscles.
Yep.
It's often through weakness of the core strength, so there's no
Yep.
stability at the front. Or there's something that's actually dysfunctional, a sprain, a strain, or a disc bulge, for instance. So you need to remove the dysfunction first.
Yeah.
Now, of course, when it comes to disc bulges, etc., there's limited amount of dysfunction that you can remove there, because you can't just go in and fix the bulge. But you can reduce the response that the body has given. So more often than not, areas around it will go into spasm and compensate for the fact that something's gone wrong. So you can reduce the tissue damage and the tissue dysfunction around the actual cause.
Yeah. Look, and I have something similar in regards to our business. We have a lot of people come in and, you know, they'll have some back pain and they'll start talking, oh, I need to work on my back. But, you know, there's a reason why my business is called Core Health Coaching, is that, you know, predominantly a lot of that is around structural weakness. So, you know, the postural alignment sort of stuff, as well as that is in regards to just their core not being strong enough. So, so I get the correlation, back pain to then sort of like, you know, that core sort of strength. So I think that's fantastic. And you talk very much about holistic, which is very similar to what we do. And something that probably surprised me a little bit, I saw that you actually do some essential oils as part of your treatment sort of processes as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yep. So the last 12 months or so, I've incorporated essential oils not only into my clinic, but also into family and home life. Because the reality is nature knows best. And when you trust that nature has provided us with what we need, rather than constantly turning to pharmaceuticals, natural essential oils, good quality essential oils, can really provide benefit to the patient. Now, if we talk specifically back pain, there's quite a few oils that can help with pain relief, you know, muscle relaxants and things like that. But what I see in my practice is actually a bigger scope to that. And why is the back pain there, and what's the cause of it? And a lot of that comes down to stress, anxiety, and lack of sleep. And many essential oils that can help with that part of the holistic side of things, you know, incorporating stress management, getting better quality sleep, and reducing anxiety. And there's a very much a psychosomatic effect with back pain. If you're ridiculously stressed and tense, then it actually aggravates any level of pain, and especially back pain, neck pain, and headaches, etc. So incorporating essential oils into my practice and, of course, into my clients' lives has really helped that holistic approach to back pain, stress relief. I thought that was interesting, having a look at your website. Obviously that was there, and there's probably not something that I would have seen a lot of, and not a lot of practitioners would probably use that sort of, you know, that holistic sort of that practice, which, you know, I'm very much on board. We've sort of talked a fair bit about that. So that's great news that we're using different types of things and treating at the core. So I love that. So I suppose I did notice on your website there is actually a program that you have online. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yeah, well, one of the frustrations I have with the fact that I can only see one patient at a time is I felt that I wasn't going to be able to reach out and help enough people, you know, at any particular time. So I developed a product that I could put online. Now, of course, it's an online program, so therefore it's not a hands-on program, but it teaches all the techniques and all basically using the information I would give out to my patients when we're in a consultation anyway. And based on mobility, strength, and stretching, which is the key components of that program, was basically a way for me to help more people at once. So effectively, that's what the idea of the program was to enable people to have a safe and effective option for while at home, when they may not be able to get to an osteopath, may not be able to afford to get to an osteopath, or for people to be able to use in between treatments to really, you know, bring it all together pretty much. So generalized mobility, strength, and stretching advice targeted at back pain, of course.
Okay, awesome. Mate, I think that's cleared it up for me and hopefully for a lot of people that that we're sending this to. So, mate, I really appreciate your time, telling me a little bit about osteo and sort of your approach. So, yeah, so thank you again for your time, Kim, and sharing your knowledge.
No problem, Cameron, anytime.
Thanks, mate. See ya.